Good evening. Hi, people, again, of the internet and stuff. Or I guess whoever watches this video. Um, I don't know, yeah, just another random diary. Or quote unquote diary entry or whatever. Uh, and I just kind of wanted to at least share my own thoughts on, what do you call it? Growing up. Yeah. Um, yeah. So the whole idea of growing up, I mainly just wanted to talk about this because um, honestly, a couple hours ago, I was just in bed and it kind of just, dawned on me that holy crap, dude, I graduate high school in I graduate high school in like a week or two, or like 2 weeks. And I just kind of want to talk about that concept and how honestly, like, it's insane to me. um, Yeah, specifically, I also wanted to talk about it while playing a nostalgic game that I used to play when I was really younger on Roblox. It was this game's like it's like a two-player sword tycoon. Came out in 2015, and it's super like basic. It's like super classic Roblox, and it's like I mean tycoons aren't like this at all. Like you don't see Ultra VIP. Well, actually, I'm lying. You do see that, but you don't see it in the like in this form or manner. Especially like collecting buttons like that, etc. Yeah, I'm just blabbering, but um, let's see. Where do I start? Uh, I guess I'll just start with like my current thoughts as a high school senior. Man, it's weird. Man, it's really weird. I feel like this is one of those cliches that people were like, "OMG, in 20, oh my God, I got my Chromebook or I got my school computer back in 2015, and now look at me." And I looked at the barcode and it said I was gonna graduate in 2025. That's like a million years away. And here it is. Here's 2025. Let alone here's my graduation. Um, it's kind of weird to think about. It's really weird and almost, I mean, reminiscing, of course, to think about how, a couple of years ago was COVID. A couple months ago, I was, applying for colleges. Um, a couple of years ago, I was still hanging out with friends and going out, and, you know, I had crushes and etc. Not that I don't have crushes now or etc., but it's like a different mindset and a different playing field. It's more, how do I put this? Confusing. I mean, a lot of things are just confusing. Things are confusing. Um, let's see. How do I put this? It's it's awesome. First of all, I think I think it's great that I'm finally at this point in my life that not only am I graduating high school, I'm graduating high school like very successful. Although unfortunately due to finances and just due to I mean current economic situations and projections. Realistically, unfortunately, the college that this college I really wanted to attend, which is this private liberal arts college in California, they're costing $94,000 a year. That's a lot of money my parents nor I have, and unfortunately, I'm gonna have to stay in my hometown. So that sucks, but oh well. I mean, I'll have my friends, and I'll have still family. So I mean, yeah, but not only that, like I'm graduating, really high in my class. I have great grades. You know, I don't regret much in high school. I regret some ways I talk to people, but I don't really regret like not doing something because I think thankfully I took advantage of a lot of the things that were available to me, whether it was extracurriculars, whether it was like certain events, whether it was like homecoming or prom, etc. Um, it was, yeah, you know what? I'm excited. Like, I'm happy I did the stuff I wanted to do. And I'm happy a lot of from the, experiences that I gained from high school. But, man, looking back on it, it's like, damn. like genuinely, it all just like accumulates to this feeling of like wow. Like, like, holy crap, like damn, I feel like constantly these last, however many years that I've been not only in high school but I just in school in general, um, has just been like accumulating to this moment, as well as like I don't feel like I've ever gotten a break, even though I've gotten, of course, summer break. Um, it's never felt like, at least to me, it's never truly felt like, okay, I had a moment to oh, I thought I messed up. I had a moment to relax, or I had a moment to kind of pause what I was doing, and because um, unfortunately, being very academically inclined means that I can't pick up that coin, bruh. Unfortunately, being very academically inclined and very, academically aligned, um, I kind of just am, you know, always on the move, and I'm always like trying to study for an assignment, study for something, and constantly always looking over to, do something academic, etc. Um, and now that I'm going into soon my first freshman year of college, but this summer break truly does feel like, wow, you know, here's that free moment. Here's that moment in which like I'm kind of free. Like this summer I turn 18, and with that being said, I'll be able to. I mean, I can do whatever. I can not go to college. I can, just leave my state. I can. I mean, I'm an adult. I'm a grown. I'm unk. um, and it's interesting. It's really interesting because it's like again, it's been accumulating to this moment. Um, but I'll say this though. It's of course, I never want to be like, oh, it's sad that I'm graduating. No, no I mean, I'm kind of excited. I'm glad to be done with this crap. But it's sad. I think it's kind of sad looking back on things. Uh, not too long ago, I was, you know, asking my mom to tuck me into bed. Not too long ago was, you know, I was unironically, warming up milk to go to bed. Not too long ago was like being read a bedtime story. Not too long ago, all this crap, you know, and I say not too long ago as if I'm like I'm 15 right now, but like I'm saying like not too long ago in the sense of like my life. Like I'm 17 at the moment. Looking back on it, that's 10 years ago technically isn't that much. I mean that's practically my whole life. So it's like not that long ago compared to like people who are like 30 and 40, etc. Um, and it's just like, man, man, um, it's just it's it sucks because I wish I could stay as a kid. Um, I love the feeling of having to I love the ability to drive a car. I love the ability to engage in these adult conversations. The ability to do whatever adult stuff or like older person stuff. But man, I think I really wish being a kid because here comes like a little trauma dump or whatever. But I don't know whoever watches this video, I don't know if like they care or not, or like it's relevant or similar. But um when I was a kid, at least a lot of care went into me, and a lot of thought. I felt it feels like a lot of thought was put onto me, and a lot of um affection was giving. And unfortunately, kind of today, I not that I don't have that, but there's been a lot of events and times that I kind of haven't really experienced that. My parents divorced early on in my life, and kind of had to grow up without, two parents next to each other, like compared to my friends who, whose parents were always next to each other and always talking, um, etc. My siblings, my brothers, dang near I think yeah, he's 7 years older than me. So by the time I was in like, by the time I was in like fifth grade, he graduated. So, I never really had like a older sibling. Because yeah, and also my sister is 10 years older than me. So it's like Um, I never got to experience, a sibling or a really conjoined family and etc. So I just kind of always had to rely on friends for that, support or like love or etc. And sometimes it really sucks that sometimes sometimes there are moments where I just kind of can't receive all that, and it makes sense because I mean, my friends have their own lives, of course. I'm not gonna ask them to constantly, um, you know, hey CJ, keep hey, yeah. I'm not gonna ask them, hey friends, can you hang out with me? Can you talk to me, etc. Because I mean, again, that has to come with my own maturity level and as well as my own dependent independence, that I have to learn. And yeah, yeah. So you know, throughout high school, there comes that gray area. I hope I'm transitioning right into this idea, but like, there comes that like idea of like, oh, getting into a relationship, oh, gotta get a girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever you're interested in, and in my case, at first it was a girlfriend, but until like recently, until like last year, I was really into boys. Oh my god, wow! And then I experimented with that, which is funny because the first partner I ever had was a girl, or no, a boy. Oh, crazy, I know. But yeah. So that was. I mean that whole thing. Funny enough, we broke up 5 days ago. Um, I guess I'm still healing. I don't know. I still very much. Excuse me. Excuse me again. I still very much like him. I love him. I care for him, etc. Uh, I just kind of, unfortunately just didn't work out. And yeah, but that whole dynamic with the relationships is really something that I always try to long for. I always try to go for because, if there's someone who's caring for me or sharing affection, like I feel like my life is complete. Like I'm I'm academically pretty smart. My extracurriculars are pretty well. My money's, I have money. I'm not broke. I'm not poor or anything, thankfully, and etc. But it's just that one part of my life that I just could never really get, which was, you know, love and affection. Um, and whoa, what the heck? That's so stupid. Okay. Um, and yeah. So just kind of living off of that. It's uh, it's really interesting to have to go through high school and go through all of these emotions and feelings with that whole lack of affection and love, and having to rely on others for that. And I'm not too sure how to. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm not too sure how to exactly go about that in my own life right now. As in, like, how do I actually? Um, let's see. How do I actually learn to love? Oh wow, this is nostalgic. How do I actually learn to like love myself? How do I actually learn to give myself affection? And it's kind of a hard thing because I don't know, and of course I can always take time and you know um I can always just do that, but it's really hard because I have a lot of things to juggle. I have in this new job, getting into college, it's about juggle relationships, and um it's really hard to devote time to yourself beyond academics and beyond like your professional development. So I don't know. That's a bit of a predicament I'm in right now, and hopefully, I guess it gets better. Hopefully, I hope in due time I can look back on this video and look back on this quote unquote journal entry, and be like, oh yeah, huh, lol, he's stupid, um, or something. But we'll see. So um, let's see. Yeah. Um, another big thing in high school, or at least that I like experienced, and just like I feel like I'm gonna constantly keep experiencing is drama, which is or like the idea of hurting someone and bringing someone down with your words and actions. Um, I've experienced it myself. I've you know people have said things about, oh my god, that kills me. What? I did not know that. Yeah, I don't remember that, but whatever. Um, yeah. So like the whole idea of people like bringing you down and wanting to, you know, hurt you in ways. It's an interesting thing. It's a really interesting thing because it's like, why do they do that? Like we're all learning, we're all growing up. Why do you want to take the time to hurt someone? Why do you want to take the time to be mean to me or like say mean words? Um, it's kind of really bad to do that because it's like, why waste your time? And I'm saying all of this, because myself, I myself, I don't know, but however you say it, I've experienced bullying. Of course, I mean, I've been bullied for my weight. I've been bullied for a lot of things, but you know, I'm trying to check and make sure there's nothing like I have to buy, but we're okay. Um, Actually, it's a bit hypocritical for me to take this stance and be like, oh, oh, I've never done it because I've done it, and recent time, um, not that I've talked, but I was disrespectful to a person, and in this case was almost like it's like a mix of the relationship I was talking about earlier, and there was this girl that I met, well not met, but like this girl that I was talking to, I was talking to back in November or so, that was amazing, was really cool, was really I mean really driven, really awesome. I mean, she was beautiful. She was strong character, independent. Like, I mean, I'm talking about a senior who's my age, um, but I consider her like she's a woman. Like she's a strong woman, and I was very confused when I moved my mic. Hopefully that didn't sound too bad, but during that time I was really confused on what should I exactly do because I was in a predicament in that I was really affectionate and really liked this guy, but then I also really liked this girl, and I was like the girl I just mentioned, and I was in this state of like, oh, what should I choose? And you know there was ways. I mean, either decision, either which way it wouldn't have mattered who I chose, but it's how I handled the situation is what really, honestly, I look back on it and I'm like, why did I do that? Like that was really mean. That was really rude and disrespectful of me. And I handled it very poorly in the way that I ghosted her for like a week, and then I try to talk to her again, and then I try to pretend like the situation didn't happen, and then when I apologized, it was a very lackluster apology. I didn't. It was incredibly. It just didn't sound authentic, and um, it was just poor. And looking back on it, I very much regret the situation. That's probably one of the biggest regrets that I did. Oh my god, this bro, holy cool. Press E to summon. Okay, well I'm sure it's broken, but that was cool. Um, yeah. So you know, I think there was a lot that I learned from that experience, and also I mean the guy, like the relationship in itself, because in the end I went for the guy. Him and I had the relationship. It broke up a couple days ago, and I don't regret it. I don't regret you know not going for him. I just wish I handled the situation better. Because funny enough, I take AP, I took AP classes. Of course I do. And I I'm in the same room as the girl, and we'll talk briefly, but in my head I'm like, she definitely remembers what I did, and it's definitely really awkward for us to talk. And it's almost like forced. So it's like I don't know. It's weird. It's really weird. Um, so yeah. Let's see. What am I going with that? I don't really know. I'm just yapping. But let's see. Um, Also another thing, friends. Crazy topic. Because let's see. Yeah, friends are interesting. You're gonna lose them. I mean, I lost a lot, and I, still have some, but not as close. At least in my case, I unfortunately the friends that I had were a grade above me, so like when I was in junior year, they were gonna graduate as seniors, and me being a senior now, I don't have them. I don't, those were my main friends, and I'm just kind of you know, a popular loner. So much aura. Nah. Uh, no, no, no. But like, just like, I don't know. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Cause I grew up with these guys for damn near 10 years, and seeing seeing them go and not being able to see them, almost every day like I used to, or sit at the lunch table with them and talk about movies or talk about etc. But only being able to talk via Instagram, it sucks. It sucks like a pain in the butt because man, I suck at making friends. Man, I really do suck at making friends. Because, dude, it's just like, oh man. Um, let me use this. Whoa, there was a special effect. I'm sorry, I'm like ADHD. Oh my god, I knew there was a special effect. Yeah, I had to jump. It was wings. Okay. Let's see. But basically, dang, that's actually really good for 2015. But basically, yeah. But basically, let's see. Yeah, like, man, it sucks that I was kind of with I've been with the same friend group because now I don't really know how to like socialize to make friends. I know how to socialize. I'm definitely an extrovert. I'm not an introvert at all. But the whole idea of like, oh, now I gotta make new friends. Man, it's like, and I tried, I try to have a new friend group or try to get at least like a new group of friends, but it's really hard when like you know your interests don't align with them, and you're more nerdy and they're more like party and drinking and stuff and etc. Which is a whole other topic. But yeah, uh, I hope really past high school. I hope I get better with that because again I would really hope I'm not like some loser in college and it's just like a loner and shit. Um, so that's a big thing. Let's see. Um, hmm. Moving forward, um, I don't know, like contemplating, not contemplating the life, but looking back on it. These last 10 or so years from kindergarten to now, I I'm thankful for a lot of things. I'm thankful for, the ups and I'm thankful for a lot of the downs because I wouldn't be who I am today. I'm thankful for the relationship that I was in. Um, I'm thankful for the girl that give that gave me a chance to talk to her, and even when not many other girls would. Um, I'm grateful for the experiences that I was able to learn throughout this time frame, whether it was like friends, whether it was whether it was like friends, whether it was teachers, whether it was academics, whether it was in learning what I liked. Um, I'm really grateful for it. And looking back on it, I don't think I would change. I wouldn't change much, except for how I how I handled that situation with that girl. That's the only thing I would change. But overall, um, there's not much I would want to change because I think overall in how I, you know, led myself and the opportunities I took and all the things that I learned, I just I wouldn't do it a second. I wouldn't change anything. Um, do I wish I could live as a kid for maybe one more week? Yeah, I very much do. Cause for instance, like this Roblox map, I remember playing it back when I was 8. Cause this came out in 2015 and I was born in 2007. And oh my god, well that's huge. Um, and playing that when I was that young, or playing this and other Roblox games alike when I was that young, uh, is just a really cool thing that I wish I could do again. But it's okay. That's life. That's genuinely just how life is and how life is supposed to go. I'm probably gonna be saying the same thing about like high school right now, or my senior year right now. Like I wish I could live one more week in my senior year. I low key don't. I don't know. I didn't really like it, but yeah. So you know, I'm just I'm just thankful. I'm glad I was able to experience this, and I'm glad very much so that I was able to meet the people I met, do the things I was able to do, take the, excuse me, um, oh my God, excuse me again, take the classes I wanted to take, um, Jesus Christ, um, let's see, and you know, live my life. Uh, I feel like not a lot of people are able to do that because they're trying to conform to some sort of like social norm, or whether it's like a certain certain way of living. Um, it's just yeah, it's a lot, and I'm glad to like have experienced it. I'm just kind of yapping and repeating a lot of the words I'm saying right now, but um, I don't know. That's I guess that's my idea. That's my life right now. Um, Probably moving forward, part two. Um, how I want things to go. I hope I hope to get into a relationship again, a healthy one that lasts. I would hopefully a year or so. um, I hope that my career goes well. I hope my academics continue to excel. I hope I meet people who care for me and want to support me. Um, I hope I hope honestly I get closer with my parents. That's one. Um, or at least I hope I get closer with my mom. Um, and yeah. So, oh, that killed me. Didn't know that would do that. But yeah. So all in all, that's just kind of high school. That was high school. Um, how my life is gonna go out, how my life is gonna play out, I don't know, but I know it depends on me. So yeah. Um, if you actually watch this, thank you. That's I appreciate it. Hearing me yap, hearing my voice, that's pretty cool. If I hope to do more of these as more ideas and more like things pop up in my head as a way to not vent, but just talk, just like an outlet to talk. And yeah. So bye. Thank you if you watch this, and yeah. Bye bye.